Hey everybody, what a beautiful day today again, sending you all lots of love. I wanted to come and sit by the trees in the forest to feel a little bit more connected, and because it's such a wonderful, beautiful day, I wanted to take a walk at the same time I'm sitting here with my camera and talking to you. First of all, welcome all the new members of our group, Sacred Animal Wisdom and Silent Healing. And we are thrilled and happy with Ingela that we have so many new members from all around the world. We looked at the page statistics, and there is at least from 20, maybe more, different countries, all of you here. So, and the group is growing quite fast. So we wanna keep doing the videos for you, and we're really excited and happy that we have everyone here, and it's a blast. We feel really blessed, and little fly came here also to listen to me. I apologize if there is background sounds coming from the town close by, or some wind maybe, but I'm pretty sure you get to hear my voice. So anyway, I wanted to talk to you about a very, very important subject before we move on to other stuff, and it is ethics. I want to talk to you about ethics before we start getting more deeper into animal communication. The first video you can also watch from this site. You can find a link, and I'm talking about more what is animal communication, imagination, and all that kind of stuff. But we discussed the subject with Ingela earlier today, and she said that also it's very important that I touch that subject, since we are working with a very spiritual subject also, and we are working in a field of healing and really, really sacred work. It's really important that also with animal communication we talk about ethics and what's that about, and how does it apply with this subject. It also applies with the healing, and it is very important when we talk with animals too. And we have clients, obviously, of course, the clients that contact me and Ingela, they are humans, so they're animals, people, and they give permission for me to communicate with their animal. So that's very important to know. That's like the first thing is that we cannot communicate with somebody's animal without their person's approval. Since there's sometimes very personal, very deep messages coming through about their person's life through their animal, so it's very important that we have a permission. Since I tell to the person everything that comes through the communication very honestly. Always you have to be considerate, you have to be polite, not blunt, but you can even more difficult subjects, you can talk about them, straight. So, and be very honest and all that. So that's that. So it's like you can't go and read somebody's mail without their knowing it, and this is one of the main parts that it's for example, people notice me when I walk, go for my walk or whatever. There might be somebody coming with their dog, walking their dog, and they come to me and they say, well, hey, I know you, Maiccu, can you communicate with my dog here? So the first thing that is very important is that I ask from the person that, is this your pet? Is this actually yours? So, well, that being said, I'm not a big believer in ownership, but we're using words, so these are the words that I'm gonna use, like an owner or whoever. So if the person ask me, I'll make sure that this person is that animal's own person. Since there are a lot of people that would love to have information from their neighbor's pet or their brother's pet or their ex's pet, or you get the picture what I'm saying, that there might be somebody walking their neighbor's dog and they see me and they want to get inside information from their neighbor's life. So that's not cool. So we have to know. And I have to touch a little bit about what I said about the ownership. The words that I do not like using is like death and ownership and all that, since we are all here from our free will and all that, so you don't get those things mixed up. But like here in Finland, owning a pet, which is very, very awkward and strange, but owning a pet is actually, the law covers it here the same way as owning a car or a bicycle. It's considered a material thing. So that just explains why we're using words like owner, or when you buy a dog, you have the paperwork saying that. So you just get that kind of an idea. It's also part of the ethics and part of the work. Even we come and approach it with very spiritual way. Since with animal communication we can help a lot of people and a lot of veterinaries, a lot of animal trainers and all that. So we are also working with more of the mainstream things. So it's not only the spiritual side of the thing, but it's and it's also it's becoming more and more mainstream. So we have to consider the laws and regulations and all that. So that is very important, that we are not communicating with a pet or animal without their person's permission. This also applies with the gift. If somebody gives a gift to their close ones, a mother or sister, brother, father, about animal communication, that person needs to know before I do it. And I am not sending the communication through the person that ordered it. The person that ordered it can give the gift and tell the person that I'm giving you this kind of a gift, that I'm sending it straight to the person that is receiving the message. So that's also very important. And the different variations. One thing that comes to mind now that many of you are thinking is the wild animals. And wild animals, anybody can communicate with any wild animal you want, but you can ask the permission from that animal. If you want to communicate with a snake or a frog or a lizard or a bird or a fly or anything, you can ask their permission to talk to you. So, and that's you're free to do that. One very, very important thing is that we are, from the animals' perspective, we are giving a safe space for them to speak their mind. An important thing for you to know is that animals, especially pets, they will never tell you anything that they are not allowed to tell. They don't tell you any family secrets that you're not supposed to know. But when it's to do with the healing or important information about the questions that the person is asking, then it's very important that they speak, and we are giving them the space. Like with me, I don't have a time limit. When the client asks me to communicate with their pet, I do it. I communicate as long as it takes. So I don't have a time limit. I don't do anything unless I have 2 hours. The average communication from me takes from hour to hour and a half. So that's I don't have a time limit, and that's something that I've made peace with me, myself, universe, and all the kingdom of nature and everything. So I'll keep my time. That sense that they don't have a time like we do. Like, I can't tell an animal that you have 30 minutes to speak up, because they might be first a little shy and all that before they start opening up. Okay, so Then one thing is very important to know that I always say is I am not a doctor. I am not a veterinary. I could be. A lot of veterinaries come to our workshops nowadays. A lot of veterinaries ask our help with their work. To say with horses, it's very helpful when we tune in and get the real, where the pain is at, or how high the pain is, how much the animal is in pain, and how they are thinking about the stuff that they are going through and whatever. It is important. But I am not a veterinary, therefore never ever can I give any diagnoses, take any part in any of their pets or animals medication or anything like that. Through the years that I've done this work now, 18 almost years, I can help, since I have so much experience about the pains and all that I feel that's going to be about this thing. And another thing that I'm going to mention in a bit, I have another video coming up about this, what we do and how you can help with the pains and illnesses and all that. But it's very important to know, and that is something that I mention always to the client, that I am not a vet, and I get these answers all the time. Do my dog have a lymphoma? Is the medication for the horse correct? What are they thinking about their medication and all that? And it's not. In my opinion, animals can't diagnose themselves. Since I can't diagnose myself, if I have a stomach ache, I go to a person who can diagnose me or do more, how do you say, what's the word? Is investigate my body or whatever, go through everything that what's looking more into my health, and maybe give me a diagnosis. So I can't give diagnosis. Another thing, and I'm gonna be having a whole nother like 10-15 minute video about that subject. So we're gonna go more into that then. But then other thing that I am not an animal trainer. This is also a very important thing to know. This is comes with ethics also, that I can't train animals through being an animal intuitive. This is not something that we can just tell them to do or act certain way. We need actual trainers. I prefer, in my opinion, in my heart of hearts, positive reinforcement like Victoria Stilwell's style with the dogs or anything like that. So that you feel comfortable with the training methods and all that. So people contact me a lot with their pets issues, and I will, with the same video that I'm talking about being a veterinary and helping with the illnesses and all that, I'm gonna talk more about the training part. But that you get an idea that this is, we can go deep into the issues, where the issues started, how the issues came about, what is the actual issue that the trainer needs to address, that we can help with the communication. But all in all, other than that, that's also something that people contact me a lot for. Why is my dog chasing cats? Why is my cat chasing birds? My dog is pulling on the leash, or they are barking when they are left alone in the house. And that's something that we can help a lot and go deeper with the animal. But it's not something that I tune in with your animal and tell them that you can't park alone when you're home. So that's a whole another different subject. So that there is going to be a video about those things. But this is very important ethics wise. And then also the other thing that I want to add very much about the ethics is sometimes, many times during the communication, there might arise my own opinion. And if there's something that I want to address that comes from my own opinion, I have to tell the client that this is my opinion. And, and most of the time, if you have an opinion, it's better that you just learn to from the actual communication and leave them out. But if there is something that, for example, could be my opinion in this case is that I think you should connect with the veterinary, or I think you should connect this and this trainer, this type of thing would be nice. so that's, then you just mention that this is your opinion and not the actual communication. So that's very important. I actually have a little note that I don't forget anything. That's why I'm looking down. And then there's the one last part in this video that I want to add is if there is a time or a place or an animal or a client, person, human being that you don't feel comfortable with and you don't want to do the communication, it's always okay to say no if you feel like you're pushed or for me there's one type of a client that there's not too many, but if there's I get a feeling instantly that the client is coming from a wrong place, or they already have a very strong opinion or feeling, or maybe even a knowledge about what the situation is or what they need to do or correct, or the actual message is and they are kind of telling me what they want to hear, then I usually withdraw myself. That doesn't happen too often. I have happened all during the years, just few times, but or if I get a feeling that I have been put in a place that is not okay with my own integrity or anything like that, then people test you. People will always test you, and you will not always know when they're testing you. So that happens, and that's not always something that you can dictate. I'm gonna tell you a funny story here before I end this time. Is what happened. There's gonna be a train going by in a distance, so you probably hear that. But anyway, I did a communication with the horse, and it's a while ago, and the horse told me that they're testing you. You have to tell this person that they're testing you, and by you telling the person that you know that I told you that they're testing you, they will actually believe you. And so I did tell them, and I said that the horses, for whatever reason, I was almost leaving that part out. I was thinking that my mind is playing tricks, and then I told them then that the horse is telling me that you're testing me, and a couple days after I sent the medication the communication. This is how easily you get messed up with the words. I sent the communication, and the person came back to me and said that, yeah, well, we were testing you, and we are actually from a magazine, and we'd like to do an interview with you about what you do. So it was okay. It was a very nice way of them to approach me, and it was an actual communication that I did. An actual message came out, so it was okay. But sometimes if you feel that people are testing you in a negative way, you can always say no. Alrighty. I think I've covered a lot about ethics, and the most important thing always is love. Come from love. Think that everybody approaches you with love, and create a safe place for yourself, for the animal, and for the person. You're good to go. And always make sure that the people that approach you are legit. They come from a good place, and you don't have to take anybody's negative energy. I will add our website and our email address where you can contact with us if you want to get in personal connection with me and Ingela. And that being said, we love you all, and I can't wait to see you guys again. And it's been a pleasure. Love you. Bye.